Is it fair to compare Kaepernick to Ali?
Well, I think the magnitude of what Ali was able to do, and at this particular point, what is done as far as years after, people would probably say no. But let's dig into this 5-10 years from now. We'll be looking back at Colin Kaepernick and really praising, first of all, his confidence. We'll be praising just the fact that he utilized his platform, not for him, but for others. And then the donations. That was something that I think a lot of people really glossed over, of just the donations that he has donated to different charities and different events over the last couple of months. It's one to me as a former player, while we're hearing so much about all these players and the protests and them sitting down with legislation and representatives and things of that nature, and the guy who was the one who started this all was not invited to sit down and communicate with those particular individuals. He is well rewarded for that award that he got for Sports Illustrated, and he will receive a lot more going forward. People may look at Colin Kaepernick and however, you talk about it, the way he was dressed in all black, with the leather jacket or whatever it may be, the sport coat. He is all about the people, and you heard about his speech. I'm one that's in full support of what Colin Kaepernick believes in and what he has done. Being a former quarterback as well, I love the direction that he's going in, and he's not going to stop. And I think other players, young players, could look at this situation and understand that it's not all about you. It's about everyone else that's around you and behind you to have an opportunity to fulfill dreams and also be accepted and appreciated just like everyone else.
I think that Colin Kaepernick being compared to Muhammad Ali is more apropos than most people realize, and not just for those that celebrate both figures. Hear me out on this, and Max, in particular, you. I'm curious with, of course, your deep boxing knowledge and history. I grew up in a house where Muhammad Ali was celebrated. He was idolized. I think by the time later in life, Muhammad Ali was almost universally accepted. It's because, number one, he was just so transcendently excellent at his sport. He was just cloaked in charm and charisma, and no one could deny the sincerity and the conviction of his positions, so much so that he sacrificed parts of the prime of his career to pursue them. Many of those same things can be said about Colin Kaepernick. As Antoinetta said leading into this, we can see his charitable contributions. I believe, as a critic of Colin Kaepernick, in the sincerity of his convictions. His sacrifice is undoubtable. It's unrebuttable. But my criticism from day number one with Colin Kaepernick has been, is he accurately and productively contributing to the conversation of the issues in this country? Because if you're not, what I think is you're contributing to tearing us apart. Now, here's the part I'd really like you to hear, Max. Muhammad Ali has been sanctified. He's been whitewashed. He's been turned only into a simplified caricature of what he actually was in life. And many of the things that Muhammad Ali said, especially early in his career, were vile. In fact, they were bigoted. Now, I'm not saying Colin Kaepernick has ever done anything like this, but, you know, Muhammad Ali talked about white people being evil, white people being the devil, that we should not mix between each other, bluebirds and bluebirds and redbirds and redbirds. You can see this stuff on YouTube in interviews with BBC or William F. Buckley. He celebrated George Wallace, the segregationist governor of Alabama. Muhammad Ali actually spoke at a Klan rally because he believed in separatism at one time. He evolved in life, and he became, in my estimation, more informed on views. He became more enlightened. He became an activist for peace. But at one point, he was contributing to pulling us apart. And this is why I think the comparison can be, is apropos. I believe when Colin Kaepernick is sloppy with socks or shirts or messages, and he is inaccurate, in those moments, he's not bringing us together. He's contributing to tearing us apart. And I see these two figures as two that can be compared. And hopefully
you're largely right.
Hopefully Kaepernick can evolve like Ali did.